Welcome to Arcade Couch, the best place to chill with your friends and get your gaming goodness every Saturday at 6 a.m. Australian Eastern Daylight Time. Soon to be what? Australian Standard
Time.
Standard? Okay.
Yeah.
That's a thing that happens this Sunday. Everyone turn your clocks back. That's in the intro for the show now. I'm Dylan Floyd, and joining me on the show today is Ashley Hobley.
Excited for daylight savings to be over
Yeah, me too.
for another
And
3 months.
Cherie Schreier.
Hello.
Are you excited for daylight savings to be over as well?
Yeah, Ash and I are the most excited.
No, believe me, I'm pretty excited because I'm sick of dealing with you. You're too shit. Okay, all right. Come to the real time
Pretty
zone.
sure it's your shit. We're on
You're
the right time
moving
zone.
back to our time zone.
No, I'm user in the fake time. All right.
No, we're literally in the correct time.
No, you're in the fake time. Okay.
That's why it's called
Standard.
daylight savings time, because it's not the correct time.
It's not standard time, is it?
Yeah.
You're well.
Don't call it daylight saving standard time.
yeah,
That's
but all
not a thing.
the important states in Australia actually use the same system I'm on. So
We just have respect for time. We don't feel like we need to change it willy-nilly to fit our needs.
no, because you have the same fucking weather all year long. Oh, it's hot. It's hot. It's hot. It's hot. Oh, it's 17. So cold. Like you don't need to change the clock back and forth because you don't know when winter comes. All right, Ned Stark over here. South of King's Landing starts very soon. You should go head on over to youtube.com/Explosion Network to subscribe and watch South of King's Landing, our Game of Thrones after show. That was good. I could not miss that chance for
A plug, self-plug.
a good old plug. Yeah, that's for sure. All right. Enough daylight savings talk. Today on the show, we will be discussing Borderlands 3, Yoshi's Crafted World, Persona 5 seemingly finally coming to the Switch, and the behind-the-scenes drama of Anthem and EA and BioWare and the hot mess that is. But first, jumping into this story that I kind of just want to talk about basically because I was like, good. Thank fuck finally something's happened about this shit because nothing was happening for ages. And the end of the tale's finally happening. So a Swatter who caused the death of a man in 2017 has finally been sentenced and was sentenced to 20 years for causing the death. So the story comes from ESPN. It says, a California man was sentenced on Friday to 20 years in federal prison for making fake calls, including so-called swatting incidents where Kansas police responded to a false report and fatally shot an unarmed man, prosecutors said. Tyler Barris, 26, of Los Angeles, California, pleaded guilty last November in U.S. District Court in Whitaker, Kansas, to charges stemming from the December 2017 incident, as well as dozens of similar hoaxes, calls where no one was hurt. So if you don't know what swatting is, you mustn't have been on the internet for the last 5 years because it was, I don't want to say like the hot thing because it makes it sound like it's a good thing, but it was definitely something that at some stage...
It was a regular occurrence.
It was a regular occurrence at one stage and nothing was getting done about it. And we're now at the point where a lot of the people who got caught are finally like getting their court cases finally from a couple of years ago and finally getting in trouble for it all. But swatting was this thing where you'd find out someone's address and then you'd make a call and be like, oh, they're holding, like, I'm such and such at this address and I'm holding someone hostage, blah, 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 blah. And people would basically do it primarily as a, well, quote unquote prank. It's not a very good prank, but they would do it as a prank to people who were streaming often on Twitch. So like people would find out their address and swat them because they wanted to see people break down their door while they're live streaming and all these sorts of things. And as fucked up as I think it is, I can at least admit I have watched at least one or two compilation videos of swatting incidents occurring on Twitch in my time. I'm sure a lot of people have, of course. I don't think they're particularly funny. They were more out of, interest, I guess, because you can't help but look at the thing.
Yeah,
but
people look at morbidly curious stuff all the time,
yeah, because the problem always was with swatting, it's a complete waste of precious police time and money and resources, of course, for fake incidents. Like, you shouldn't make fake police calls full stop for anything. And then also, because it was such a serious offense that people would be making these fake allegations about, the potential was always there for people to get hurt. And in this person's case, they did make a swatting call where the person who answered the door or something along those cases.
So what happened was that two other Viner or people online were having some sort of beef. One of them called
over
the
Call of
defendant.
Duty.
Yeah. One of them called the defendant to swat on the other guy, but apparently the other guy gave him an incorrect address or phony address. So they've showed up at this other address to an unsuspecting person, and they've accidentally shot him when they've raided their house or whatever.
Yep.
Yeah, and it was fatal.
Yes.
Yep. So, manslaughter? I can't remember what would the charge be?
Manslaughter.
Yeah, manslaughter, right?
Unintentional manslaughter, I think.
Yeah. 20 years though. Good. And I say good. I've seen a mix of reactions from people being like, oh, that's too much, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, no. Good. Okay? Because
it also lists as well as dozens of similar hoax calls.
Yeah. You need to set a precedent for this sort of shit because up until this stage, a lot of people continue to do it because no one had really got charged for anything to do with swatting, and people believe they could just constantly get away with it and whatever, it's no big deal. So now I'm hoping, you chuck someone in prison for 20 years after they accidentally got someone killed over it, then you'd kind of hope that anyone with half a fucking brain cell, although the people who would colon these things probably only have 2 brain cells as it is, so I mean, I might be asking for a lot there.
Over
2 might be overshooting it, yeah. But you kind of hope people stop doing this fucking shit now because it's disgusting. So yeah, I read this story the other day. I was like, thank God something's finally happening.
Some good gaming news
amongst the rest of the terrible stuff happening. Thank God for that. Yeah. Okay. So in the complete kind of opposite direction to that, this week Bethesda Games announced that Skyrim Grandma will be an NPC in Skyrim, Elder Scrolls 6, whatever the game ends up being called. So I don't know. Have either of you ever seen this old lady's videos?
I think
Skyrim Grandma.
No.
I think probably it blew up back in the day. I probably watched 1 or 2 videos of her playing Skyrim and that. So
yeah. So no, I'm definitely no subscriber, but when she blew up a couple years ago or whatever, I was definitely like. At first, I thought, because I remember seeing it pop up on Twitter or something, this video of an old lady playing Skyrim and stuff. And I'm like, is this a skit from like a TV show, a comedy or something? Because it just seemed weird, because she's just like, I love Skyrim. Skyrim's my favorite game. And then she's like sitting at the PC like, I'll get you, elf and stuff. I'm like, this has to be fake, like for sure. But then it's like, no, this old lady just loves a dragon slaying. She's going for it. So story comes from Kotaku. Says Shirley. Oh my God, is that really? Oh, okay. It's Curry because I read it as Shirley Curly, and I was like, what? She's one letter off having the perfect first and last name. Shirley Curry, the 82-year-old grandmother and YouTuber best known for her Skyrim videos, will make an appearance in the Elder Scrolls 6. Bethesda will use photogrammetry, whatever, just the stuff you use to put people in games. Technology to scan the legendary Skyrim enthusiast and add her to the game. Bethesda revealed new information about the technology behind the Elder Scrolls 6 today at the PAX East panel during the Elder Scrolls 20th anniversary panel, where the only other tidbit from that whole thing was them being like, yeah, Elder Scrolls isn't coming to E3 and neither is the space game. So just don't expect that. And it was like, okay, good. Very, very, very good.
No, because Starfield's going to be there.
What is?
Starfield, the other game they're working on.
No, they announced that's not coming either. They said Starfield and Elder Scrolls 6 are not going to be at E3. Yeah. Because I love announcements about not bringing stuff to E3.
That's you know what would be a great announcement, because we're not going to talk about it later. If by E3 we could all play Blades, that'd be really nice.
That would be really, really good. Yeah, I would have loved to talk about that on this particular episode of Arcade Couch, but the game, and I tried playing it just before.
I'm sure you got the exact same experience that I got. You got to play like 10 seconds of the game. And then
you have to play that same 10 seconds every time you want to boot it up to see if there's an odd chance I'll actually let you play the full game.
No, I don't get that little bit of actual gameplay anymore. You just go straight to cutscene.
Okay, because I have to play that every single time I've checked to see if I'm eligible to play the game yet.
Well, at least you get to replay that 10 seconds of gameplay. You've played the game more than I've played the game.
I mean, yeah, I've probably put in fucking half an hour at this point. Yeah, Elder Scrolls Blades, Hero Impressions next year when they finally let us play the game. In a video series article continues, the company explained their planned use of the technology, which can scan real-life objects and translate them into high-detail 3D objects. This will be used for the game's environments, and similar scanning technology will be used to add Grandma Shirley to the game as a character. She continues to say how it means it's such a big deal to her, and she's in there like wearing a Skyrim t-shirt in a video, and it's all rather adorable, really, to watch and see. I quite enjoyed it for when it popped up. I woke up, I saw this was like the top story at the moment. I was like, the video game's doing okay today. I see that the top story is Grandma happy to be in video game. I'm okay with I'm okay with this news for once. I also think the technology itself's interesting because they do say it's going to be used for more than, like, it's a scanning technology and they're going to use it for objects as well to bring into the game compared to, like, because most games use mocap suits and stuff, obviously, for actors and stuff. But this is a different technology to that. Again, it's more... And, of course, they scan in people previously, but I find that the word, like, where they bring up they're going to scan in objects as well. Because I'm like... I
think that's pretty common as well. I'm pretty sure I recall when they were doing the first Battlefront, they did that sort of thing to get authentic Star Wars stuff into the game. Probably.
Oh yeah, for some of the weapons and stuff, I suppose they did. That's I don't know what the difference is, but some sort of new technology. But yeah, good on you, Shirley. Or
work, Shirley.
Shirley Curly.
Should have married a man named
Curly. Anya. It's a pity she won't be alive by the time Elder Scrolls 6 comes out.
Oh dear, that was a low blow.
That was unnecessary. You know, we're in the middle of a good, happy story. I mean, she'll live forever now, though.
I'm just saying she's fucking 82. This game is not coming out until 2040.
You don't know how healthy she is.
Yeah.
People live to 100 all the time. The marvels of modern medicine.
No.
I mean, she is American, so healthcare's not great over there. But
she got that YouTube money though.
Yeah, that's true.
She's gonna
get those Bethesda royalties soon.
Yeah, exactly. I wonder if she got paid for this. That's a good question, actually. Did you get ripped off, Shirley Curly? You got fucking.
You're just happy to be in the game, you know.
Yeah. Okay. That's sure. Should ask for a.
You gotta get paid, Shirley.
Gotta get paid, son. Yeah, I personally look forward to playing Elder Scrolls 6, interacting with Curly Shirley. In the year, what year are you chucking on this one, Ash?
2025.
Holy shit.
20. Okay, I'll just shoot. Hold on. 20 next year is 20.
I'll do 2022.
2023. There you go. We'll match them all around there. Put your dates down in your calendars now. Pull out your betting books and write those ones down, and come back to us in a couple of years.
Yep.
You're all gonna forget because I'm gonna forget as well. So, but that's fine. Quakecon announced some stuff this week. So, Quakecon 2019, not something I would particularly be interested in because it's mostly around the competitive scene of Quake and these sorts of things. But I'm intrigued this year for the potential of Doom news to be coming out of it. So QuakeCon, the Twitter page tweeted out, it's going to be a hella good time this July as QuakeCon 2019 celebrates the year of Doom. Here's the 25 years of ripping and tearing. And then they also put out a little bit more information about it because, of course, as I brought up, was it on this or Platt? I can't remember now either. But at on one show, I did talk about this year being the 25th anniversary of Doom at some stage. I think it was this
like
show.
It was this.
It was this show.
Okay.
I believe it was on this couch, yes.
Yeah,
yes, it was on this couch. I
Doom.
remember sitting here and having the very conversation. For sure, yes. To commemorate Doom's 25th anniversary, our 4-day event will include all new Doom-inspired activities. I want to know what they are. I want to know if they're better than those Fortnite ones that Ash brought up when I was on the show once, and I was like, that sounds terrible. But, I mean, this is a legit thing, and that was a fake thing, wasn't it? That was
that was definitely a fake
event thing. Yeah, so I kind of want to know what Doom-inspired activities mean. Like, do they give you a chainsaw? Do you just put chainsaw through things? Laser tag, really? That's so lame.
I don't know where you want to set the bar.
I want to set the bar at chainsaw.
Okay, nerf guns.
Nerf chainsaw. Nerf chainsaw.
Maybe it's possible. You just put like a bunch of Nerf or foam around a thing instead of metal bits.
What do you mean no?
No.
What do you mean no?
You guys are out of your tree.
It's a Nerf chainsaw.
Coming next year, Nerf chainsaws.
Chainsaw. How do you not know this Nerf chainsaw that doesn't exist that we're going to create out of foam
but
pieces?
Nerf is teaming up with
id.
Quakecon this year and id and they're going to announce at Quakecon the release of the Nerf chainsaw that's inspired by Doom, and then it's going to be in store shelves the next day.
Yep, with blood packets.
Yeah,
it's going to be great. You know?
Come get
Oh
some.
my goodness.
I mean, they already give little kids little plastic chainsaws. We're just making it a little bit more advanced.
It'll be great. You'll just see a kid run down the street. I'm sure as long as it's a white kid, it'll be fine to run down the street with that.
At least it's OHS, meets the standards, safety standards.
I'm making good jokes.
Think of all the cosplays you can do after that.
Yeah, exactly. You can take it into cosplay events and stuff.
It's a genius idea. If Nerf's not going to do it, it's our next merchandising opportunity.
No, it's not. Veto.
I want my Doom chainsaw, is all I'm saying. Our events, exclusives, developer panels, hands-on demos, new information about Doom Eternal, and a few surprises we aren't quite ready to talk about, all while continuing to feature everything you already love about QuakeCon. That's right, you still get Quake tournaments, exhibits, panels, updates on latest games from Bethesda, and of course, a massive round-the-clock LAN party unlike any other event. So QuakeCon is usually like id information hub, I guess, to a point. They usually announce some things there and show up some stuff, kind of like, it's not BlizzCon level, but it's like they usually have something going on there. But the event is formed around this massive LAN party because that's kind of what it was set up as. But the things that interest me the most are the I want to know what these inspired activities are. I want to know if I'm jealous that I couldn't attend for a start. That's one thing. But but of course I want new information about Doom Eternal because as we've tracked this year, I went from not caring about Doom to going back and playing that first game, and now I'm all in on Doom Eternal. Give it to me, please. And there's a few surprises we aren't quite ready to talk about. That also quite intrigues me. I want to know if that's more information, if that's something to do with Doom Eternal, but I'm hoping... And I don't feel like it's too far of a call to say, and I jokingly said this before we started recording, obviously, but remake or something of the first Doom or something along those lines. Or because
I would like to see a remake of the 2005 film starring Carl Evan and Dwayne Johnson and Rosamund Pike. That'd be great.
Wouldn't it be funny if after that movie got announced, they come out and they're like, "Hey, here's our Doom movie," and announce it. They're like, forget that other one because they have nothing to do with that other movie. That's some weird like licensing shit going on.
You sure they're not
but...
going to have a special screening as one of their experiences? A special screening of Doom Annihilation?
Maybe they'll have a special screening of the 2005 film.
Yeah,
and the cast will be there. The
Rock? With the cast Q&A, that would be a nice thing, yeah.
Yeah, people would love that. Hey, The Rock, would you do a sequel?
You guys are on fire today.
I would watch.
Get these ideas rolling.
You would watch that?
Yeah.
So would I.
Why do you think
we should really watch...
Mr. Rock, sir, why do you think this movie bombed so bad?
Well, sir, it's because I didn't have enough muscles back then, but now I do.
I was wearing too many clothes.
Daddy's gonna go to work, whips out chainsaw, cuts off his arm thing with that. Fuck the part in Fast and Furious where he just flexes and it pops off. He needs a chainsaw. He needs a Nerf chainsaw to cut that thing off. But yeah, I'm hoping for some sort of Doom remake, remaster, or something interesting. Come on, it's the 25th anniversary. Do something interesting over there, guys. But also at the same time, it's like, would that, if they did something like that, is that like E3 announcement? Because of course they need stuff for their Bethesda conference, obviously. But then they can still announce stuff here. But I feel like a Doom remake or like a remaster or something like that isn't really E3 worthy. That is something that could get announced at
No, you announce it here and then you show an extended gameplay at E3.
That's true. But it's also like they're going to show new gameplay for Doom Eternal, but then they've also previously said that Doom Eternal will be a big part of their E3 event. So I'm like, they must, like, I don't know how they're mixing it up. Unless
Doom
they're showing a lot of
going to be a really big game. It's Eternal.
Well, maybe.
So there's eternal amount of footage
Yeah, that's true.
that they can show.
That's right. It is Eternal. You're right. You're very good because it's in the name, and good job there. We're now going to cut to me, myself, and Ash in the future, and we're going to talk about Borderlands 3. Diddler. All right, Ash. So last week at PAX East, I think it's East, Boston, whatever it is, American PAX is, who cares? We care about
Boston's
ours,
on the East.
Okay, yeah, I know American landscape spectrums and stuff. Borderlands 3 was announced in a horrible fashion, and I don't really mean horrible by the trailer or anything, more so it was a horrible presentation to watch awkwardly at 5 a.m. in the morning when I woke up because of technical issues. But that stuff aside, that was happening. What did you think of the trailer that they shown to originally announce the game?
I thought it was really good. It was more Borderlands, obviously. It was cut together really well. Obviously, it was like very inside jokes and that sort of thing. There's a gun with legs. What more could you want?
Yeah,
Billions
it's like
of
very
guns.
much aware of its own humor and stuff. I guess
it knows what
it's like. Oh, Jack's
fan base wants.
Brick Jack's solo, and then cuts to a fucking solo happening.
Yeah.
So I thought it was an okay trailer. Like, I say it's only an okay trailer because although it says, hey, here's a bunch of, like, I got excited for several elements. Like, I thought the villains looked cool. I thought the new characters that we could see, they look cool, but I didn't really know much about them at the time. Seeing some of the characters, like Reese in it and stuff like that, coming off Tales from the Borderlands, that's exciting. That's cool. Fuck you, it is. Just all that stuff was exciting. The only reason I was kind of like mediocre on it was probably somewhat my fault, somewhat not. I don't know. Probably because they kind of were like treating it as a Borderlands 3 reveal event, right? But then, as cool as the trailer was, I walked away from it going, it still just looks like Borderlands, which is fine to a degree, I suppose. But I feel like if you're going to come out with a bigger bang, they should have had something in that trailer or tease something about the gameplay potentially that is like so much different to previous entries, I guess. Because it was just like, it looks like Borderlands. Cool. You know, and I'm sure that's what fans want. But for me personally, as a who has only played half of the fucking games, it's like I was looking for a bigger hook, I guess. Which we kind of get, which is kind of what is shown and confirmed in the trailer that came out just now.
You don't blow your load in the first trailer. You go, here it is, and then you've got however long, it turns out, it's 6 months to build up fan anticipation.
I think my problem comes, though, because I think I just got deflated a bit when it ends and it's like, oh yeah, come back next week for more information. Because it was so close. You know, it's not 3 months from then and we'll
that was
do
a bit
something.
odd. Just put a little bit more time.
Yeah, it's just like if
it works out well for us.
If we're going to wait a week, if we're only waiting a week to drop this other trailer and stuff, can we not? Why couldn't all of this be in one big event? And I understand they're trying to do this very like drawn out release schedule of the information and stuff, and that's part of the marketing. But I feel like when it's so close, like next week there'll be more. I'm like, this is too close. Like it's too close. Too close to that becomes annoying, I guess, if you know what I mean. Because so we get this second trailer today. Last night as of recording, midnight, I suppose, whatever it was. What did you think of this one? It was a lot shorter, and it was a lot more hectic, I guess, but it showed off and confirmed some new details and stuff somewhat. What did you think of this one?
Yeah, it looked good as well. We got to see a bit of a glimpse at the 4 playable characters, confirm that the villains are who we thought they were, and it looks like more Borderlands. And it shoots down the idea that this is going to be a Destiny live service game. It's definitely going to be just a co-op 4-player multiplayer game like the original two. So, yeah, that keep fan happy.
I wasn't a big fan of this trailer. It gave me whiplash. I understand that the music, the tone, the hectic, they're going for because they're like mayhem, that's like the tagline, I guess. But I think 3/4 away through it, I was struggling with I feel like I was about to get an epileptic fucking shock from the amount of cuts and edits that was happening across the screen for it. I'm like, it's too much at this stage. I can't handle the mayhem. I'm sorry, I'm too old. I'm too old for your mayhem, Borderlands. I can't handle it anymore. It's my eyes can't handle what's happening right now. But the stuff they shown in the trailer, but editing and stuff aside of it, the characters all look cool that we see, and we'll kind of go over those in a second. And then the confirmation that excited me the most was the multiple worlds. You're not going to be just stuck on Pandora. It's going to have somewhat, however you go about it, several worlds, which makes sense because in the original trailer they shown several different locations that looked widely different from what is presumably Pandora to these neon city type thing. Another city that looks to have like more traditional building inspired stuff. I don't know how I'd put it. Like there seems like a big variety, and then in this game, in this trailer, they do say, you're going to go to worlds plural, and that's cool. How you go about it, I presume you just click on a ship and you fast travel there or something. I don't presume you'll be actually flying to and from, although that would be deep for Borderlands to be like, well, I've got ship combat now.
Guess what? We're No Man's Sky.
Yeah.
Jump in a ship.
No Man's. Fly
straight away. Fly out of the atmosphere.
Yeah.
You're in space.
Do what you need to do.
Crazy.
I presume, for what we can gather in this, if it's all of the planets, then it's like 3, 4 maybe? I don't know. We'll see. Either way, it's looks to be a lot of content, I guess. A lot of places to go and do stuff, which is cool.
Yeah.
So Variety has a write-up about it, which we can go over now. Borderlands 3 hits the PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and Windows exclusively through the Epic Store on September 13th.
Steam fanboys, get your big folks.
So, of course, following that, Steam fanboys and Borderlands fans did the exact same thing to do. They went over to the Borderlands 1 and other Borderlands games pages on Steam, and they are now review bombing those games and having their scores drop on Steam below.
I think
because that's
they still have some valid grievances. Mostly that Epic Store is not doesn't have as many features as Steam Store, and that it's not as secure and user friendly yet. But they need the games there to be able to build those things. To have the finances to build those things. So
that is none of those reasons you just said are what the people are complaining about. They just
the rational section of the market that is complaining is making those arguments. The rest of the market, most of the fanboys, the ones who are actually doing the review bombing, are crazed Steam Boy fans who just want everything in one place.
Yes,
but there are rational people there with actual grievances.
Maybe.
I don't think you can just paint everybody with the wrong brush.
I will for this.
Like you like to.
They're too loud. Fuck was that? They're on there. I put up a screenshot too just before. They're like pasting things with like thumbs up somehow and just be like, fuck you, Epic Store. And I'm like...
Not thumbs up, middle fingers, yeah.
Yeah, middle fingers. I'm like, how's it their fault? But here we go again. Another tale of... So it's going to be exclusive for 6 months. So and before it will drop on Steam 6 months later.
Do you think it's Epic Store actually giving a cut to 2K to get them, like giving them a payout beforehand, or are they going, hey, launch is when we're going to sell the most games. Let's just have it exclusively on a platform that gives us the best cut.
I think it. Yeah, they just want money.
Yeah, but which one do you think? Is it Epic going out and saying, hey,
I don't think they are anymore. I think that's what they were doing to start off with.
$100,000, which is probably a drop in the bucket.
A lot, no. But I don't think they did this, no. I think they did that for a couple select titles to start the the kick over. And then as more people got talking about it and aware of the Steam and stuff, and other companies could see games like Division and whatever the hell else showing up on their Metro exclusive and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Everyone was like, oh, this seems to be working fine. And they're getting paid better cut. Fuck yeah. So now other companies are just going to be like, yeah, why won't we make exclusive over there? That seems to be the thing to do. So that's the way it's going. I think if every time a game now gets exclusively or timed exclusive announced for the Steam store on PC, we're going to have to reach a point where it's not even a big deal anymore, because unless Steam does something to try and swing the tides around the other way, it's like that just seems to be what's becoming the normal for a lot of games that are getting announced now. So,
do you reckon Steam's ever going to get? They don't care too much. They're not going to try and do the opposite. Do the same thing back.
I think they're so far up their own ass of being the top dog of the PC market for so long that they literally cannot even understand or comprehend what possibly could be the problems with their own platform. Which is good, because Steam has 1,000,001 problems and they can get fucked. So, there you go. Hopefully they learn a lesson over this long...
Probably
next
not.
year. Probably not, no, that's true. So, the thing it says, you got a quote here from Gearbox President and CEO Randy Pitchford. Says, for the past several years, the team at Gearbox Software have been devoting every ounce of our passion, creativity, and love into making Borderlands 3 the biggest, baddest, and most ambitious Borderlands adventure we've ever made. Borderlands 3 has been crafted not only as a love letter to the fans of the series, but also as an ideal entry point for new players to jump in alone or cooperatively, on or offline, in the latest and greatest installment of the definitive, best-in-class, benchmark, shooter-looter. Very a lot of keywords being thrown out there just then, hopefully. It's like, better hit them all. Blah, blah, then they're going on about the PC thing. So, the article continues. The game has players taking on the fanatical Calypso twins in a fight to stop them from uniting the bandits' clans and claiming the galaxy's ultimate power. So, I feel like that's a storyline from a movie, but I can't remember exactly what they're going around to unite all of the back. It's like
Aquaman.
It's like I guess, yeah. No, I was thinking it is like any typical like DC or Marvel big super villain team up thing where like villains go around and they get all the villains, Sinister Six or anything like that's happening. Like the Calypso twins are going around, the League of fucking Evil Gentlemen.
Yeah, the League of Evil, I think it's called.
Yeah. They're just going around. They're gonna get all the alpha bad guys to work together, and the Calypso
Legion
twins
of Doom. That's what it is.
Legion of Doom. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, the Calypso twins are officially Lex Luthor. That's how I'm saying it. Sure. And I'm going to say the girl's the smart one and the guy's the brute. That's
wow, stereotype much?
Just throwing it out there. She looks smarter. Sorry. According to the press release this is from, so players will also get a chance to discover new worlds beyond Pandora, each featuring unique environments to explore and enemies to destroy, and then also presumably different planets, different bandit clans, etc., etc. The game features 4 new Vault Hunters, according to the press release. They are Moze, I believe is how you say it, M-O-Z-E, yeah. Moze
sure.
the Gunner. It says, when Moze needs backup, she digistructs her mech, Iron Bear, for Sucker Punch of additional firepower. So this is the Beastmaster type character, I guess. Then you've got Amara as the Siren, a confident, capable brawler with the ability to summon ethereal fists. Amara uses her Siren powers to smash her enemies. The Siren... I find it... She's like the most... Oh, hold on, next character is the Beastmaster. I was like, that one's the mech character. That was confusing. Yeah. So the Siren's like the most typical Borderlands character in this list, I suppose, because each game's had some sort of Siren at this point.
Like a melee sort of character.
Yeah. Or, assassin type thing, I guess. Depends how you want to look at it. Is this, how do you say FL4K?
I'm just going to say, I think it's just meant to be flak. It's like a
flak.
With a 4 instead of an A.
I get it now. Yeah, I was looking at him like, I don't know how this 4 is supposed to be said with the thing. So Flak as the Beastmaster. Flak lives for the hunt, so do the loyal beasts that follow their master's every command. their preferred prey, unsuspecting bandits, those poor suckers. So, Beastmaster. And then Zane as the operative, specializing in battlefield gadgetry. Zane is extremely proficient at slipping into combat, creating chaos, and sneaking back out as if he were never there.
Yep. Seems like a good mix.
There's your 4 characters.
Slightly different takes to all the other ones from the previous games.
Which one would you play as, do you reckon? Which one is intriguing to you?
I don't know. Flak looks pretty cool with his dog thing.
Beastmaster?
Yeah.
Sure. I think I'm just drawn to Siren, I think, because that's what I played as in the first one back in the day. So
lock it in.
Lock it in now, everyone. Maybe I'll change my mind. I don't know. So it continues. The game will also have a season pass, of course, and include 4 campaign DLC packs featuring new stories, missions, and challenges. Blah, 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 blah. And this is the other part that kind of pissed me off. I'm like, I'm getting fucking announcements of 16 million different collector's editions before you even show me any sort of gameplay. They're like, oh yeah, come back March 1st. Or what? No, not March. May 1st for gameplay. Like, that's when we're going to drop some gameplay and stuff like that.
Yep.
But today, you can pre-order the game. And here are 16 million different variations of fucking collector's editions.
It's 4.
Well, that's
There's
close
4
to 16
editions.
million, Ash. Let's be real. The slope is.
I'm pretty sure it's
slim.
closer to 1 than it is 16 million.
It's debatable.
Yep. Okay.
But you know what I mean. I'm just like, it's. I know this is a normal thing these days, of course, but I still can't help sometimes but cringe a little every time. It's like there's a million one collector's editions, and I haven't even really seen much of the game. But so you got these are American prices. I don't have the Australian prices in front of me, but Borderlands 3 Standard Edition, which is the base game, pre-order bonus is gold weapon skins and a weapon trinket. That's $60, so that'll be our normal $100, I guess.
$99.95 for console.
Did you find a?
I'm looking at EB Games, so I did see it cheaper at JB though. Plug. Unpaid plug.
The Borderlands 3 Deluxe Edition, which is. Do you have that one?
$129.95.
There you go. Base game and bonus digital content. Retro Cosmic Pack, Vault Hunter head and skin, Echo Device skin, weapon skin, Neo Cosmic Pack, Vault Hunter head and skin, Echo Device skin, weapon trinket, Gearbox Cosmic Pack, weapon skin, weapon trinket, Toy Box weapon pack, toy guns, toy grenade, weapon trinket, XP, and loot, drop, boost bots, pre-order bonus, gold weapon skins, and pre-order trinket. The Borderlands 3 Super Deluxe Edition. It says it's $99.99. Price goes up to
$149.95.
Okay, there you go. So this one says it's the base game, all digital content, and pre-order bonuses of the deluxe edition, plus the Borderlands 3 season pass,
plus
and then
Steelbook.
Okay, is that
important?
That's the important part.
Yeah,
they're leaving that out on the thing I'm looking at. And then there's the Borderlands 3 Diamond Loot Chest Collector's Edition, which says $250 USD. So I'm going to presume that's about $2,055 Australian.
Yeah, it is currently not available for free at a time recording. I'm guessing it's going to be like $300, $350, something like that. It's like double the Super Deluxe Edition.
Yeah, a lot. I think I saw news before that it wasn't, the pre-orders weren't going up until the 5th as of recording. So tomorrow.
No, apparently, yeah, the 5th.
Maybe. Yeah, okay. So that will have base game, all digital content and pre-order bonuses of the Super Deluxe Edition, the season pass, diamond loot chest replica with functional retractable lid, a 10 3-inch tall Borderlands 3 character figures, including 4 Vault Hunters and the Calypso twins, Sanctuary 3 Snap model ship and stand. I'm going to presume that's your ship you fly around in the game. I don't know. 4 Vault Key keychains, a cloth galaxy map, 5 character art lithographs of the Vault Hunter and Vault Hunters, and the Calypso twins, and a Borderlands 3 Steelbook case. How do you reckon that is for it's a lot. Does that seem like a good collector's edition to you?
I mean, it depends on the size of the loot chest, I guess.
Well, hopefully it's real life size and it takes up a good 10 by 10 space in your economy.
I hope so. Looking on Google, some of I think they made one for Borderlands 2 as well, and it looks pretty sizable. So, like, not huge, but you could store a fair bit of stuff in there if you needed to.
Well, if it's going to have all this in it, you think that's like 10 3-inch figures
10,
and whatever else. So that's a fair chunk of space, I feel, for sure. I think it's a cool collector's edition. It's a lot of money, but I think it's got a decent amount of. Like, if you're a big fan, I feel like it's a.
If you're Jane level fan.
Yeah, if you're a Jane Pryor, of course. Shout out Jane Pryor, the Borderlands, the Explosion Network's Borderlands go-to expert. Yeah. Go read up his stuff, explosionnetwork.com. He knows more about the game than us, unfortunately. We are the noobs of the Borderlands, but we try.
Yep.
We're learning. Teach us,
Jane. When are we dropping? that's
Do we say that in Borderlands, Jade? Do we say where are we dropping? You do now. You're in a ship. Where are we dropping? What planet are we dropping on? The article continues. Gearbox said we'll find out more about Borderlands 3. We'll find out more about Borderlands 3's story, characters, gear, and more extended gameplay live stream May 1st. And that was the other thing that kind of annoyed me. I am, and this is me probably being picky. I can 100% admit that. I don't particularly like the marketing plan thus far for the game with the continuous, like, string along, I guess. Reveal trailer. Come back in a week. Come back in a week. Another trailer. Release date. Collector's edition announced. Come back in a month. Got to get gameplay. What do we get then? Come back a week later.
Oh, so you prefer them to dump everything in one go and then we forget about it and then game's not out in 6 months?
I just wish, I feel like in my perfect world, what it would have been is reveal at PAX, and then then they could have even just still said, come back next week for the gameplay reveal. That would have made more sense to me, I guess. 2 string outs, not 3 string outs. You can do a marketing scheme year long without having to string along core details. I just want the core details available to me, is what I'm saying. Like, I just want core information of the game available. And I wish I knew that now. Like, I would have, in this event, I want to know just core things about the game that we don't know. Like how you get about the planets. How many planets is there? Are you going to
Well, you didn't even know there were planets until they announced it today. So
yeah, they could have announced those planets and also be like, and this is how you'll go about it. And
no,
here's how the loot system works in this game a bit more. They briefly said something about in one of the things they said that the loot, like if you play co-op or whatever with people, you can have it set so you can't like steal each other's loot and stuff like that, which previous games, as far as I'm aware, was always a thing. Like it would be like, do you want this gun? Do you want this gun? All right, you can have this gun. Whereas like Division and stuff like that more recently, whatever drops is just for you, your eyes only, so it rolls randomly per everyone that's in the game, and that obviously works out a lot better. But yeah, that's Borderlands 3 reveal, second reveal, all in the books. Any wrapping up thoughts on that?
Yeah, keen
for it. Are you excited?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, if we agree to play through it together, I guess.
If you meet my friend, I'll play the game.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm keen. I'm just give me a bit more information. Is all I'm saying.
Well, they will. 1st of May. Just need to be patient.
I'm not patient. All right, I can't handle it. It's too hard. It's too hard. Please, just give it to me. What do you think of the cover art too? Before we wrap up this, I suppose.
It's evocative, and it looks.
It's a
I haven't seen any angry people going on about it, but I don't think it means anything. It's just a cool art cover.
It's a lot, isn't it?
Yeah. It stands out.
You definitely can't walk past that poster or like box art in the store and not go, what is? Oh, that's an interesting cover up there. But it's funny because I say that, but then at the same time, like the original game's cover was similar.
Yeah,
of course. You'd walk past it. It's a fucking dude like pretending to shoot himself on the front of a cover. So it's the same sort of thing, but this one's like swung around to a more peaceful vibe, I guess, which is interesting.
A more religious vibe.
Yeah, and more religious vibe, yeah, for sure. Well, it's because it's like, they in the trailer, I didn't want to get into this stuff too much because it's like not really my field to go over, but in the trailer, you can see in the background at some point, it's like the church of, or the Sons of Vault Haunters. Like there's something like that's called that sounds like a kind of cult type thing happening. So I think that may be a thing that's happening in it.
That makes sense.
Which reminds me somewhat of like Far Cry type story stuff, I guess. That we've seen previously and stuff. Anyway, that's Borderlands. Back to the show.
Wow, Cherie, what do you think of Borderlands 3? What are your thoughts?
Amazing.
Yeah, it was great, wasn't it? Hopefully. I don't know. Some details leaked as of recording, but we're not going to talk about them, obviously. We'll just wait. What we can talk about, though, to do with Borderlands right now is Borderlands 1 last week during the PAX panel thing when they showed a trailer for 3 and was like, hey, come back in a week for actual details about what the fuck any of this means. They did announce that the original Borderlands is getting a 4K remake, remaster thing for current gen consoles. A bit more than that as well, though, because it's the first time the game will be available on current gen consoles. It's 4K, HDR, 60 frames per second for the first time on consoles. It's already hit that on PC, obviously, but that's a thing. They've updated a bunch of the like character stuff so they can now have costumes and stuff. Some gun models and stuff, I think they said they fixed. They added a HUD. They added a map to the HUD, which the first game didn't have, but the following games had.
Yeah.
And apparently they've also changed the last boss somewhat or completely. It's yet to be seen what exactly that means, I guess. But they did say that they've changed the last boss because the final boss in the first game was this giant, I don't even know what you call it. It's just like a giant nothing slug monster. I don't really recall. It was boring is what it was. Like there were so many other fights in the game up until that point that were actually really interesting characters and people with personality and stuff. And then the last boss was just this nothing being that came out of a door and
gave you
killed
nothing.
It dropped loot, but I mean, it didn't have any personality and it wasn't a very fun fight or did anything interesting. So I'm intrigued to know what exactly they mean when they say they're changing that. So, and then they also announced on top of that the Handsome Collection is as well getting a free update to give that 4K and HDR as well. So that's nice. And then the Borderlands 2 VR game is getting a free update that's going to add in all of the DLC as well. So bunch of Borderlands for everyone. I hope you like Borderlands. Ash, do you like Borderlands?
I mean, it's all right. I never got into it. I like Tales. I wish there'd be more Tales.
Yeah. Are you more intrigued now?
I think I am more intrigued now that I've played Tales just in the world.
Yeah. Because the world, yeah. Tales does a good world building job, I guess. Yeah.
So.
Cherie?
I reckon it's a pretty smart move. There's going to be a lot of people that are very happy about this, I feel.
Jane Price happy.
Yeah. Because apparently 1's pretty different to 2 as well. Story, writing wise and like gameplay sort of as well. So.
Well, they changed writers for 2. Different writers were involved. So. Yeah. I'd be keen to. I see. My Borderlands thing's funny because I played through the first game twice. Not on my own console. Well, I played through it on my friend's PS3, and we played it co-op, like split screen, and we platinumed it on his PS3. And then like a week later, I brought down my PS3 and we platinumed it on mine.
Because you needed the platinum on yours, didn't you?
Yeah, exactly. And because we didn't, we couldn't do online for whatever reason. I can't even remember now what the reason was. Maybe the game didn't have it. I don't really even recall. Or maybe
no, it's only couch co-op, I think.
I don't know. But either way, we ended up doing it, twice on both our PS3s. So we both got the platinum. So I played Borderlands 1 a fair bit, you could say. I did all the DLC and stuff as well for those games. So it's been a while since I played it though. But I loved Borderlands 1. But for some reason, I never played 2. And I'm going to presume it was because it released when all I was doing was playing League of Legends, potentially. Like, because there is a period in my time where if I often look at a game and go, why didn't I play this? Like, what stopped me from playing this?
Oh, I was addicted to League of Legends.
I was addicted to League of Legends. And it did for a good year and a half to 2 years there or whatever it was when all I did was pretty much play League. I did miss a fuck ton of games that released. I only really stopped for big ones. Like The Last of Us came out and I stopped playing League for that and something else as well. But there was a heap of games I just didn't play. Whereas I'm pretty sure Borderlands 2 was probably one of those ones I didn't play for that reason. And then the pre-sequel came out and like the big hook for the pre-sequel was, oh, like it's Handsome Jack's back and you get to see his origin story. And I'm like, I don't know who the fuck Handsome Jack is. Why do I care about this character? Why would I play this? And Tales I did play though, because obviously it was a Telltale thing, so I would have played it no matter what. But I love Tales. That game is fantastic. It's probably one of the funniest games I've played. Actually, it's very, very funny. The standout scene in that whole game is the finger shooting thing. That is one of the best and funniest video game scenes I think of all time. And that obviously introduced a lot of cool characters, and I'm sure me and Ash maybe potentially talked about the fact before that characters from that are going to be in 3. That what Reese and Fiona
maybe
are going. What, they're in the trailer? Like,
yeah,
you see Reese in the number 3 trailer.
I don't know. That guy had a mustache, so was it really
Reese,
him,
okay.
or
Yes,
his evil
it's
twin?
Reese. No, it's his evil twin. Fuck me.
Who also lost the same arm. Yeah.
Exact same, yeah. That's how it all worked out, yeah. But Borderlands, the remake thingy, Bobby, or whatever the hell they're calling it, doesn't have a price point yet, which is, well, I couldn't find one. There might be one up. Well, it's out by the time you're listening to this, so you would obviously know. But I'm hoping it's not too pricey, because like the Handsome Collection released at $60, and that's 2 games, you know? So how much can you charge for the first game alone if you can charge $60 for number 2 plus the pre-sequel? That's my question. Like if Borderlands 1's only like $30, $40, I think that's an okay price point. If it's $60, like the Handsome Collection, questionable at how much that'd be worth it. Anyone got anything else on Borderlands? I'll take that as a no.
Check out Jaden's article over on ExplosionNetwork.com.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, and maybe I'll slide him an envelope full of $100 bills and get him to write another piece with all the hot, juicy details that we definitely got out of that reveal thing that happened where they gave more information. By fuck, if I've said all this and they really showed fuck all of this is awkward. But that's fine. That's fine. That's the world we live in. Okay. Persona seems to be finally coming to the Switch.
Is it though?
If we trust Best Buy. Do you not trust Best Buy? They're good leakers, Ash.
I mean, they're no Walmart.
That's true. They are no Walmart Canada. Walmart Canada, that is the number one. Walmart
That was
Canada.
so accurate.
I can't. I'm
like
getting. We're getting close to
80%
E3.
accuracy.
Yeah, I'm getting close to the E3. I'm just gonna have Walmart Canada pinned on my tabs here. Check them every day.
Best Buy are pretty good.
Well, we've got the leaks happening. So they've leaked or potentially leaked. Like some of these could be bullshit, of course, but there's 3 games. Persona seems the most likely because it's previously had rumors. But this story comes from what website is this I've got up here? Nintendo Life. It says a leak via Best Buy's internal employee terminal suggests Persona 5, Metroid Prime Trilogy, and Legend of Zelda and Link to the Past will be released on Nintendo Switch at some point in the near future. This follows the apparent leak of Joker's render Super Smash Bros. Ultimate over the weekend, which apparently leaked as well. So on Reddit, someone uploaded pictures. We would presume it's an employee, but they had like pictures where it says on the terminal, they type in Persona, it has Persona 5 Switch and stuff, which would make sense because Persona just announced that they've got an event happening. And a couple weeks ago, they announced that the like Persona R, that's what it is, isn't it, Ash? Persona R? Fuck, I'm not keeping up.
Persona R, the Royal.
Yeah, Royal Edition is either going to be DLC or a complete...
We're thinking DLC or like a spin-off something.
A spin-off or something like that.
Or potentially the golden version of...
Yeah.
But, yeah,
we'll see. But it's like, do you do a golden edition these days? No, it doesn't really make sense. Just DLC it, surely.
I mean, why not both?
I guess. I don't know. It's kind of like the argument for why you don't do a Kingdom Hearts final mix anymore and why they said they wouldn't, because they can just add in the stuff that they would add to a final mix via DLC
afterwards,
these days. Yeah. So there's no point to really have to make a final mix anymore. And then, but the other thing that they've got coming is Persona S.
Persona S. P5S is the URL. that apparently got taken by Atlas. I think they were just, in case somebody heard it wrong, they thought it was S, not R. They just claimed that domain as well.
No, I don't think that's it. I think the thing that makes sense is Persona Royal will be the golden edition, the DLC, whatever we're going to say it is. And the Persona S is just too on the nose not to be Persona Switch, surely.
I mean, I would really love for it to be a troll and it's something like a fighting game.
You would. You would.
I would.
Wouldn't you?
I mean, sorry, the guys over at House Mario and Dash who are super keen to have Persona 5 on, but I mean, it's funny.
It's mine only.
I mean, they've played it through before. Why do they need it on another console? I don't understand.
I don't know. It's whatever. People want it on the Switch for whatever reason. So they can play it on the go because they need the switches on the go. I mean, it makes sense on the Switch.
You need to play those 20-minute cutscenes on the go.
Yeah, fuck, that's actually, yeah. I'll sit down and play some Persona on the bus. It's a 20-minute ride. Cutscene finishes. All right, time to do a battle. Bus stops. All right, never mind. Standby mode. So the Persona 5 thing being in the Best Buy thing, I think I would give that one a tick for sure.
Yeah.
Because adding in with all the rumors we'd had previously, the Persona S thing, that all makes sense. That one's a big old tick. The next one was the Metroid Prime trilogy, which was first spotted apparently on a Swedish retailer website last September. And more recently in March, prior to the reveal of Cadence of Hyrule Crypto and Necrodancer, we found out that The Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening might not be the only 2D Zelda game coming to Nintendo's hybrid device this year. So apparently the other leak is of A Link to the Past coming, which that one has my cap on. No, that one has my detective hat on. I'll buy into Metroid Prime though. I'll buy into that because they do have Metroid Prime 4 coming. Well, I mean, it could be 2 years away at this stage because they just announced that they, of course, scrapped the game completely and restarted, of course, when they put out that video. Was that this year or last year? I can't even remember now. Do you remember, Ash?
The which one? The Metroid Prime 4?
The Metroid Prime scrap thing. Was that this year?
Yeah, it was this year. Well, end of last year, I think.
Yeah, I can't remember if it was end of last year or start of this year now, but they've restarted Metroid Prime 4, obviously, and they handed the reins of that over to... Fuck, I can't even remember now. Was it Rare? No, I wish it was Rare.
No, it's some short name.
Yeah, I can't even remember now. Fuck. But they handed the reins of that game over and Nintendo cancelled, of course. So putting a
Retro.
Metroid Prime... What was it?
Retro?
Well, Retro. Yeah, that probably makes sense. Porting over Metroid Prime Trilogy would make sense to me. I can buy that one. And I want that one because I never played those games and I would like to play those games. Would anyone else like to play Metroid Prime? Are the first person ones that were on the Wii? Yes. Well, all of them on the Wii? I can't remember now. GameCube, I think. I don't know because I didn't play them. That's why they need to bring them over to Switch because then I will actually play them. Would anyone else care to play? Would you have any interest in Metroid Prime, Cherie?
Nah, not really, but I'm glad that you're excited. At least someone is.
I'm sure other people would be excited.
Yeah.
Why hating on Samus?
I think if you're just to keep people tided over till Metroid Prime 4 comes out.
Yeah.
Or even if it was being worked on just to, like, in preparation of Metroid Prime 4 that they thought was going to come out before it was scrapped and given to Retro. So it makes sense.
It does. I'll give this one a tick as well. I think this leak.
Well, I think it's either they're all ticks or none of them are ticks.
No, there's always a bug in the system, and I think the bug in the system is a Legend of Zelda Link to the Past. What would this be?
Just a link to maybe it's exactly the same as the Link's Awakening.
Well, I know, like a cartoony, different art style remake thing. Look. If they want to come out and they want to release 2 of those games in the same year,
or they just literally put it up exactly the way it is.
Why?
Is it like an anniversary or something?
No, don't believe so. No, I think it came out in 96 or something maybe. That's just a random number off the top of my head, but it sounds right. I'm sure you'll tell me I'm wrong, horribly wrong in just
91.
Oh, it's only a couple of years off, but there you go. 91.
Do you know that very important 28-year anniversary?
Yeah, the 28-year anniversary, way more important than the 10 years or the 25 years or anything like that.
Yeah.
So I don't think that's a thing. Like, but in a world where Nintendo releases 2 Zelda remake things in that art style in the same year, Nintendo's really just out here to win. They're like, we're gonna win this year. Like PS4 and Xbox can get fucked. We're gonna put out so many games this year that people want that everyone else can basically get fucked. Because people are already losing their minds over the Link to the Past thing. The Link's Awakening thing. So I cannot imagine if people had a Link to the Past as well. I would be more excited for a Link to the Past remake in that art style than the Link's Awakening one, because A Link to the Past was the first Zelda game I played. So that has more resonance for me, I guess. But I don't know. I don't believe it. I just don't believe it because it's too crazy. The other 2 I'll buy into though. What's everyone else's votes then? What are you voting?
I said they're all real.
You're voting all of them real? Okay.
Yep.
Fair enough.
Sure. Let's put money.
You're a crazy person. How about you, Cherie?
Yeah, I'll go with Ash.
You're a crazy person too. All right.
Yeah.
Do it.
Although I kind of hope that the Persona 1 is not real.
Why do you want to just keep?
I don't know. Just because it'll annoy Dash more than anything else.
You're a mean man.
I mean, I'm trying to save Holmesy some time. He's going to have to take your hearts portable after.
Yeah, this podcast is never ending. All right, so all that I've played this week really is Yoshi's Crafted World, which came out later. It came out Friday? Yeah, it came out last Friday. The Cuties game finally has arrived.
It has.
Cherie, what do you think?
I love it. It's so fucking cute. I've only been able to play of just only a few levels, but I had like a bit of a hectic week with my son being really sick and everything, but it's super, super cute. I can't stop smiling when I play it. So I never played Woolly World, which now I'm just like, oh, how did I not? But
You didn't have a Wii U.
I'm just loving it. It's so cute. While I'm playing, I'm like, look at that little train. What's that doing over there? Oh my god, that's so cool that it does that. Oh, that's paper. Oh, this is this. This is this. Oh, I'm pretty excited. It's great. It's very cute and I love it.
Mm-hmm.
It's like all what I expected. All my hopes and dreams come true.
Game of the year?
Yeah, maybe. We'll see. Cutie game of the year, maybe. Oh no, wait, Ooblets comes out this year.
Does it?
I don't know.
We'll see, maybe. They said it is. We'll see.
But yeah, it's awesome.
It is.
I'm loving it.
It was fun. I think it's. I mean, if you played the demo, you kind of know exactly what the game is. I feel, but if you didn't play the demo, I don't really know. It's like. It's a light platformer. It's not particularly hard, but having said that, I've died like 10 times so far in the game, so it's not like it's not so easy. Like you get to some of the later levels, and I've fallen off to my death a couple times in some sections. So it's not like a complete walk in the park. You can mindlessly play it. You know, like there is enough challenge that's keeping me paying attention. I guess is my point. And then you go through the levels, and the level design and everything is really cool because it's in the name, Crafted World. So everything in the game, from the backgrounds, and the backgrounds are really cool because it's got like that. I can't remember the name for it. It's like really depth.
It's diorama.
Yeah,
it's like paper diorama. I think that's why like I am really enjoying it as well. Is that I really enjoy the way that they've done certain things, like the usage of the paper and the cardboard and the way it's moving in the game. I think that's like also what I really appreciate and find exciting.
Because you'll have like like stuff in the background, and some of the stuff in the background you can aim at with your eggs and like knock over. Like there'll be like a stand up of a tree, like made of cardboard, for example, and you can knock those over and get a coin. Or maybe there's a secret behind there. You don't know. You have to shoot them all down to find out. And then like there's other things like a recent level I was just playing before recording. There's freaking seagulls floating around. Seagulls floating around this level, which you got to jump on top of to make your way across this like gap and stuff. But all the seagulls are made up of paper and stuff, and they've all got like slight string attached to them that kind of shoots upwards. So they're like, it's like as if someone's kind of moving them along above the screen, like puppets or something. I guess like that. And there's a real wide mix. Like I think I'm on to the 15th or 16th world. So there's a lot of worlds, but each world only has 3 to 4 levels or something like that. It varies kind of thing. And then each world has a different style to it that stands out. Like none of the worlds so far have felt duplicate at all. It's like, oh, this one's like a volcano world and there's fire stuff and whatever else. This one's a beach world. This one's one of the worlds was quite funny actually, because it was like a I think it's the first or second world as well where this level shows up. It's everything looks like it's from Yoshi's Woolly World. Like it's I don't know what you would call it. Like everything's made up of like string and sewing objects and stuff like that. So it looks like a level from Woolly World. So and in Woolly World, you'd walk up to these giant. I'm pretty sure there's no way they didn't do it as a throwback to that game, because you walk up to this giant block thing, and it's just like a bunch of sewing string or whatever. It's like all back and forth, like a big block of it. And in Woolly World, you would press the button to make your tongue go out and you would be able to like pull the string and it'll make that object disappear, is how it worked in that game. But this game is like a giant block there, and instinctively my brain pressed the tongue button because I was like, went to pull all the string out and I was like, oh wait, no, different game, that doesn't work. But you have to walk up to it and like push it out of the way. But there's no way they didn't do that as a little funny thing for Woolly's World and stuff though. The boss levels, I've done like 2 bosses so far. Well, there's a couple of mini bosses. They're whatever, but the bosses are fun, I guess. Like you get to see them. The bad guy comes in, so you got like Bowser Jr. and the wizard dude, whatever his name is. I'm not actually sure. The wizard person. They like comes in and they'll like craft the big bad guy, like wave their wand around, and you'll see this like cool cutscene that kind of looks like stop motion animation happening, and you'll see like all these objects from around the level kind of gather together, and then like stop motion animation come together on screen and form this big boss for you to take down. The boss battles are easy. I've done them all first try. It's very simple stuff like jump over a bunch of objects, hit them 3 times, they're dead. I don't presume it'll change. I don't really care too much if there's just simple bosses. That's kind of what I want to end of the game, I guess. There's a lot to do as well. I've already played. The game is a lot longer than I thought it would be, to be honest. Like I'm still going, and I'm probably a bit over halfway through it at the stage I'm at, and I've probably put like 4 or 5 hours into it. I don't know, but like I feel like it's a lot longer than I thought it would be. Plus, to 100% it, you would have to put which I'm not going to do because fuck that shit. I got there's other stuff to be played. I'll be here all year 100%ing freaking Yoshi's Crafted World if I had all the time to do that.
That's goals, life goals right there.
No. This show will go to shit. All the and platinum exposure if I do nothing but play Yoshi for the rest of the year. But so you've in each world there's like, I mean it varies. There's like sunflowers or whatever they are to find, and they're like hidden around. And then at the end of the level you'll get 3, I think it is, like 1 for if you get a certain amount of coins, another if you your health is full, and another if you get all the red secret coins in the level, and they'll give you 3 sunflowers as well. So there's like somewhere between per level like 6 to 10. It varies, I think, sunflowers to get. But then once you've beat a level, and I think you have to get to like world 2 or 3 to unlock this ability. But then once you've done that you can go back on the levels and you play them in reverse. And when you play them in reverse, much like in Yoshi's Woolly World, you've got all the Poochies, and the Poochies run off and they hide through the level, and you'll play it through in reverse, and you have to try and like speed run it and find the Poochies as fast as you can. And then at the end of it, you'll get more sunflowers for how well you did on time, and you find all the little cute dogs, and these are all friends, and that's all a cute, fun time. But then playing through the levels backwards is kind of worth it anyway, because it gets to show off the level design, because like literally when you get to the end of a level, like when you start it, the camera does like a 180 turn, and then you start playing it back, and then you get to see all the design, the way they've had to design the levels as like a full 3D environment, I guess, to a degree, even though you usually don't have to, but because you play through the levels backwards, you get to see behind objects, and they do funny things where you'll play through a level the first time, and like you'll go over a rock or something, for example, and you won't think anything of it, but when you play through the level in reverse, they'll hide like a bunch of enemies in there, and they're like just kind of sitting around talking or something, just like funny little things that for you to notice on your second playthrough of the level. And then on top of that, when you beat a world, the little robots, which you have to give like X amount of sunflowers to actually unlock the different worlds, like 10, I need 10 sunflowers, I need 20 sunflowers. Those people, those little robots, when you beat a world, all of a sudden they're like, oh, hey, I want a fucking fish bones. Fish bones can be found in this world over here. So then you have to go over to a certain level, replay that level, try and find the fish bones objective, and bring it back to the robot. So there's a lot to do, really, is my point. Too much.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't have a problem with it
fun.
because it's good, but I'm not going to 100% it because just don't have the time for that. But it's good. I'm glad there's lots of stuff for people to do in the Yoshi game.
Yeah.
Hopefully I'll finish it this week and put up a review and just write cuties in capital letters and then write a score below it. And then that'll be the review.
Yeah, 10 out of 10.
10 out of 10 already.
Yeah, it's got so many cute friends in there.
Ash, are you planning on stealing the Switch to try and give Yoshi a go?
No, not really.
Oh my God, get out. I feel like every week I tell you to get away.
I mean, yeah, you do.
Whatever makes you guys happy.
Thanks, Ash. I'm glad we got your permission.
Yeah.
You can stay, but like, come on. It's so cute. Get on it.
Get on it, mate. Get on the Yoshis. Any final thoughts on Yoshi, I guess, Cherie?
No, I'm just really enjoying it. I'm looking forward to things settling down in life so I can play it a lot more, because I've just been super, super looking forward to it and haven't had the time to be able to sink into it. So I am, very, very excited to continue my crafted journey.
I'll warn you, there's one level where there's scary stuff that happens, and I was like, whoa, all of a sudden this game's... I feel like if I was a kid, it would have scared me.
Even at the beginning, when all the stuff happens, I was like, oh, I felt genuinely sad. And I was like, oh no. But then I knew that it was all going to be okay when the nice music started and I was on my crafted journey.
To get the Infinity Stones. All 5.
Well, actually, we're collecting coins and then to get the stones. But yeah, sure. Yeah.
Yeah. Gotta get the Infinity Stones. Is BioWare kinda up shit creek without a paddle? That is the question.
Thanks for joining us on this week's anyway.
That's all. All right, see you next week. So this morning, as of recording, Jason Schreier over at Kotaku dropped a hell of an article about the production and history of Anthem and BioWare and EA as well, of course, and everything that's went on with that game since its initial birth, I guess, in 2012 to its release now. Conception through to release now. Yeah. That's the proper word. Thank you.
That's a better word.
Thank you very much. That's why you're the editor of the Explosion Network. And yeah, it's firstly, thank God for Jason Schreier, put over there, just putting in the best work. And then it's a disturbing read, I would say. So I read the full thing and I popped through the story to you and said, hey, we're going to talk about this. It's quite long though. So if you just want to skim it to get a general idea. So how much did you manage to go over, Ash? And what were your general impressions of however much you got to go over, I guess?
I read the entire 11,000 word article.
Is that how many words it actually is?
It's around that mark.
Okay.
And yeah, it was a fucked up situation.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a story.
Thank God for Jason Schreier. He could have saved this for another book, but he decided
It's
to put
nearly
it out
long
on
enough for a
Kotaku.
fucking book, yeah.
Yeah, so we're all very grateful for Jason Schreier's hard work. I don't know how in depth you want it, if you just want overall thoughts, but yeah, it seems like there was problems from pretty much day dot.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah, 100%, yeah. I kind of we'll try and go through the key points, I guess, in a second. Cherie, how much did you get to?
Yeah, I had enough time to go through about half of it.
Okay, that's good. That's about 5,500 words.
yeah,
5,759 words.
Got 'em.
569 words. Got them. Good enough. We'll catch up. So you got the general gist. So for those who don't know, general gist is this. BioWare in 2012 start this game. Well, start concepting is the
Yep.
word, of course. Conceptualizing this game, which at the time was called Beyond, not Anthem at all.
that wasn't
we
not
late-
the time.
No. Later, we find out that the name Anthem was pretty much only changed. Beyond was only changed to Anthem pretty much right before they did the E3 demo in 2017.
Believe it or not, Beyond very hard to trademark.
Apparently.
Shocking.
Why is it shocking?
It's
else
not
is called
shocking.
Beyond?
That's the thing.
Yeah, I know. I'm like, okay. Well, I mean, they're a big company too, so I'm like, why is it that? I don't know.
Why are you only
And
just realizing this now, a week out from E3, after you've done merchandise and everything?
Yeah,
It's crazy.
You'd think for a big company, they could have got the name.
You know, they're just
licensing
paying
and-
those lawyers so much money that they.
Yeah, but you think they would have got that under Untitled, but so it was called Beyond. Previously to that, it was codenamed as Dylan, which I
Well, that
found
was their
quite
first
funny.
mistake.
That yeah. So it was codenamed as Dylan because Casey Hudson at the time apparently was pitching it as they wanted to create a game that was like Bob Dylan, which to them meant a game that people would talk about for years and years to come, like the way people talk about Bob Dylan's music, I guess. Even though I'm like, I could walk up to a 16-year-old today and be like, do you know who Bob Dylan is? And I'll be like, who? So like, I don't know if that's a good thing to go for. It's like the way you should really be like, we want to create a game like Fortnite, you know, because all the kids talk about Fortnite. That's where you want to be. Most sources that Jason Schreier got to talk to throughout the article,
19 anonymous sources.
19 anonymous sources, all said that production pretty much didn't start till the last 12 to 9 months of it, basically, because they had just been working on stuff, scrapping it, working on stuff, scrapping it, like constantly over and over, fucking around, not even know what they're doing. That most people agreed that the actual core game development phase did not start until a year ago, roughly. So that's interesting, especially when you're like the game was conceptualized and started kind of pre-production in 2012, and then they don't actually start proper what people who were making the game considered core development phase until early 2017. It's like, fucking hell, that's a lot of years of scrapping. And
Do you know what makes me laugh the most is how when it was at E3 and you got the little snippet, everyone sort of walked away and was like, oh, I'm really interested to see what this game is. Don't really know what it is. Don't really know what it's about, but I'm excited for it. They didn't even fucking know what the game was.
Yeah, they didn't even know. That's another part of the story. They're like, apparently, what's his name? Peter Soderbergh?
Sodenheim?
Sodenheim? Yeah, sorry, I'm going off the top, man. The head of EA, though, he apparently played a demo of it early and hated the demo they showed. And then months later, they spent a lot of time working on a demo to impress him, to keep him happy, apparently. And they added the flying in and all these sorts of things. And they showed off the part, like in the E3 demo that we were shown, where they're at the top of the castle or the fort, whatever they call it in the game. I don't even remember. I think it's a fort. And they all jump off. And it's like, oh, cool, we're all flying and all these sorts of things. So he was kind of showing the exact same demo that was shown to us in 2017 at E3. And that demo really impressed him, apparently. So then they were like, okay, cool. So a couple weeks later, E3's happening. They're pretty much showing off the exact same demo again. The funny thing is, I rewatched that demo because it is linked in part of the article they included in there. So, of course, I'm scrolling past. I'm like, yeah, let's watch this again. Basically, nothing from that demo from E3 2017 is in the final game, apart from the bare, like...
They're in javelins.
Yeah, well, they're in javelins. The world kind of looks the same, although of course it doesn't look as good, which isn't abnormal. I give that one kind of a pass because most E3 demos always look better than the game actually looks because they're all just small snippets.
They're made to look good and better.
They're made to look good, so I give that one kind of a pass. But then also I completely forgot this was even a thing until I rewatched it. But one of the key elements that people complain about to Anthem to this day, or from release, was that unlike other games like The Division and Destiny, when you pick up a gun in the wild, like it drops off an enemy, like say I'm playing Division at the moment, for example, if I see a gold emblem drop off an enemy, I'm like, oh shit, gold gun or something's dropped off them. That's exciting. I run over, I pick up the loot, and if it's a really good gun, I can just go into my inventory and attach the gun right there and then. Same for Destiny. For whatever reason, in Anthem, you pick up stuff while you're out on missions, but you don't know what it is and can't look at it until you finish the mission and take it all the way back to your base. But watching the E3 demo again, they show it off like it's a core gameplay thing. They pick up a gun or whatever, and then the stats come up on the screen as they're looking at it in their menu and all these sorts of things. I'm like, holy shit, even such a simple thing as being able to look at your guns and equip them on the go that they showed off in E3 demo just got cut completely from the game later on. That's such a small thing, but yeah. Of course, I'd highly suggest reading this yourself. We're kind of going to skip and go over a lot here just to briefly go over
Patrick Soderlund, by the way.
Soderlund? Okay, cool. I'm sure there's some sort of accent thing to that because I'm
there's
Swedish or something.
It's Swedish.
Yeah. They put a lot of people they talk to, they put a lot of the blame on a lack of leadership within the company for this particular game, which for a lot of people I see constantly, well, not constantly, I do at times see people online in different forums and stuff often ask what a game director even does, because I feel like people can understand what a movie director does a lot better than a game director, I guess, because it's like a movie director, they understand that they're directing actors and being like, oh, we'll get this shot of the camera, or people can understand what a movie director does even if they don't care too much. They can get an understanding of it. For game directors though, I feel like people are just like, what do they do? What is their job? But reading this story, I feel like for a lot of people who wouldn't understand, it's like the key example of, well, you know what a game director does? Much like a movie, they're supposed to have a key vision. And they direct everyone on what the fuck they should be doing.
Yeah, they make decisions.
It's pretty much the same, but yeah. So with this game, because apparently no one was running the show,
or it was being done by a committee.
Yeah, like people would go into a room and be like, here's our problem, back and forth about it for a while, and then because there was no key figure to finally put the foot down and say this is what's what, which is what you've got to do as a director of anything,
anything.
Or a boss of a company, or anything. That's kind of what your job is to a degree. And there was no one doing it, so apparently they were back and forth about problems with the game or what direction they should be heading in and stuff, and then just kind of walk out and go, don't know, because no one was willing to take the leadership role. So a lot of the people they talked to blamed it on that, and then also a lot of people put the blame on the Frostbite engine, which was probably one of the more interesting aspects of the article to me, because it's not something I've particularly thought about, because of course we're not in game development.
Yeah.
And then also it's not something I have actually seen online, like people complain about, but I don't follow, I follow a decent amount of game developers, but probably not enough to have
it's only
ever seen.
EA game developers that are using it.
That's true. But so the thing is, years 2011ish or something like that. I can't remember the exact date now, but early 2000, that type period. Peter, what do you say his name?
Soderlund.
They all decided, hey, and I remember when they announced this at E3 and they said it was a thing, and at the time I was like, this is good. It's not good apparently. He said, everyone that's at EA is now going to use the Frostbite engine, which is DICE's engine that they had been using for years and years and years on all their like different variations of the Frostbite engine that they use for all their games, and that's how they made the Battlefield games.
Yep.
And it's a really pretty engine is the reason that they said everyone should use it, because it's able to create really good looking graphical fidelity, of course, and these sorts of things, and explosions, and like Battlefield's known for being able to explode a building and have it like collapse down and all these sorts of things. So the engine was designed around these features for the Battlefield games. Like, go play fucking Battlefront 2. It looks beautiful. It's a stunning looking Star Wars game. So that's how it was designed.
It was designed to make a first-person shooter.
Shoot it, yes. And I remember when they announced this at the time, and they said, hey, so we'll get everyone on the Frostbite engine, because then everyone within the EA studios will be able to help one another out, because everyone will be using the same engine and they'll make things easier. And I remember thinking at the time, yes, this makes perfect sense. Why wouldn't other companies follow suit?
Everybody uses the Unreal Engine.
Yeah. But this is just my...
It's just going to do the exact same thing.
Yeah. This is my naive lack of game dev understanding to know why this would be a problem, of course. And as the article explains, the problem is basically, as you just said, the Frostbite engine was designed as a first-person shooter engine. And when BioWare had to make Mass Effect... Oh, Dragon Age Inquisition was the first game they made on it. And then they made Andromeda and now Anthem, of course. But even with Inquisition, they went in. And because it wasn't designed for third-person RPGs, they had to make a third-person system, like camera, like literally everything they had to build, because it was designed around first-person shooters. A lot of things they wanted to do, they simply weren't able to do with ease within the system, and the engine would constantly be fighting them at every turn to let them even do what they wanted to do. So they struggled through that, and then they struggled through Andromeda, and everyone knows they fucking struggled with Andromeda. Yep. Everyone knows.
Check out Jason Schreier's other piece about Andromeda.
About Andromeda and the shit show that was Andromeda. So, which is another point for this story, because of course they were working on Andromeda
at the same time.
At the same time, and Andromeda comes out while the team that's working on Anthem is over here in the corner, like, our ship's kind of burning, and then Anthem in the background kind of just explodes in like 10 different Michael Bay explosions, and they're like, oh shit, that thing's fucked, let's not turn out like that, like, and then they're like like, our thing's fucked, but oh my god, Andromeda's fucked, like, what do we do? Like, our whole company is kind of imploding a bit here. And it's funny though, because Dragon Age Inquisition apparently was a shit show development hell as well, but they managed to kind of pull it together in the last year or something like that.
Yeah.
And the game came out and eventually won Game of the Year at the Game Awards, which is interesting, considering how big of a shit show apparently was behind the scenes. And the BioWare mentality apparently from the heads of the company was, well, we did it once, so we can do it again and again and again. But where they may have got lucky with Inquisition and pulled it off and managed to pull it out the other end okay, they didn't manage that again with Andromeda. And Andromeda came out as a hot mess and got turned into a million and one memes, which was apparently something within the studio that they were saying for Anthem. They were like, we need the graphics to look good. We need the people's faces to look good. We need to make sure none of our characters are memeable this time, because they were so worried about Reddit turning characters in Anthem into memes, much like Andromeda's characters were turned into memes. So lack of leadership, Frostbite engine. Another thing I didn't know about the Frostbite engine I found interesting was that apparently they had a heap of people pulled, because all the companies within EA all of a sudden have used the Frostbite engine. So apparently they pulled a whole heap of people, the best engineers within the kind of DICE and BioWare spectrum and everyone, over to go work on the FIFA games, because they were struggling, like everyone else, to get the Frostbite engine to work. And EA wanted to make sure that FIFA ran well, because that is their highest earning title. Like, that's where they make most of their money from. So they stuck all the best.
From a resource management standpoint, sense, it makes
sense
to put all your resources into the guaranteed hit.
Yeah, especially one that you've got to have out year after year after year after year. So they needed to make sure that one came out. So that's where everyone that could actually work on the Frostbite engine and help out with problems went. So then all of the other studios, including the team that's working on Anthem's kind of like, we don't. Frostbite sucks. We hate this engine. We don't know how to use it. We don't know how. Like, can someone teach us? No one can teach us. Okay, cool. I don't know what we do. We're just kind of left here floundering around. So the story continues on like that. It covers up until it goes up until release as well. Like, it doesn't stop before release. The whole article ends up when they actually pop the game out, and everyone was basically saying that after. I was trying to find the person's name here quickly because I've forgot it, but someone came in late. Let's see if I can find it here quickly. So, Michael or something like that. I can't remember his name. Actually, sorry, but someone came in within the last year and was basically stuck in a leadership position on the game. And from what I could understand, it's this person who deserves all the praise for basically even having the game come out the way it did in the end, because they people were saying that when this person came in, they actually started like organizing, like, you finish this, you do this, and that's where in the last year the game managed to come together to what it ended up being. And most of the people in this article that Schreier spoke to, from what I could gather, all kind of agreed if they had another month to 2 months push on the game from the February release date, they could have actually released it with a lot of features that they're kind of just slowly adding in now, patching in and promising in the future, and the game would have had a much more, not successful, but at least a mediocre launch, I guess, to a point, compared to a really tolerable release, yeah, because it's a 50 something Metascore at the moment, so not very good at all. So someone comes in, kind of saves it, but the reason they weren't allowed to push it is because of course, stockholders and these sorts of things within EA. They wanted to release it within the physical year of
the financial year.
2017 financial year, I guess.
Or this financial year.
So it had to come out by the end of March.
End of March.
End of March, yeah, for the first one.
Americans are weird.
It is weird, yeah. So they had to have it come out by then, and that's why it wasn't allowed to get pushed anymore. Which is, it's crazy, because if everything they say is true, then they really only got like 12 months proper development time under someone actually
parachuted in.
Yeah, to kind of lead the charge in. They also point out, funny here, at some point during the whole thing, that the person that they had come in or whatever was, or someone that was currently not working on it but then got brought in or something, was this Mark
Dara.
Yeah, it's like sent out this tweet in 2017 that everyone thought was weird at the time. But his tweet said, "Things I, EP of Dragon Age franchise, am not currently working on." And he wrote Anthem, Mass Effect, Jade Empire, Dragon Age, Tactics game, Star Wars. And everyone was like, this tweet's really weird. But his implication at the time was, I'm working on Dragon Age. Dragon Age 4 is happening. But then it goes on to say that they they ended up cancelling Dragon Age 4, which was, I don't know how far along, it doesn't really say. But it's cancelling Dragon Age 4 for what it is, bringing these people over to help out with Anthem, and then restarting Dragon Age 4 again. I don't know. Like, to be honest, reading this whole article just has me have no faith in Dragon Age 4 whenever they officially, I say officially because we know it's coming, but they haven't like shown a proper trailer or a name for it or anything like that. But whenever they show Dragon Age 4, which could be this year for all we know at E3, it's a possibility, I'm going to be watching that and just going, well, I just read about that Anthem demo and how that was all bullshit and just a big stage show, and none of that demo ended up the same. So like this whole article is just even worse. And BioWare is already in such a shit position, but just reading it's like, holy fucking shit. I really don't know where to put the blame though. It's like a combination, it seems, of higher ups in BioWare as well as EA, I guess.
No, it's there's a lot of people who are worthy of taking blame. Yeah. Obviously,
it's no one person.
No, yeah. And then, yeah, so obviously none of the leadership at BioWare at the time. Obviously they had Casey Hudson leave, which created a huge vacuum that nobody filled.
But he leaves and comes back during the period of Anthem.
Yeah, to save him.
That's how to save him. Yeah. Even though he didn't save them, it was this other guy.
Well, to help try and steady the ship.
And they're fine.
So it's just a lack of leadership, obviously. Clearly they've got problems with the Frostbite engine, and it didn't help that they decided to scrap everything that they had used to help facilitate the creation of Dragon Age Inquisition and Mass Effect Andromeda. So they scrapped everything and just went back to the base,
which is so weird.
Frostbite engine. Yeah. And then EA not giving them the time they need, really. That's the big thing, I think, especially with these sort of games. Do you want to have a game that's out and by the time you want it, or do you want a game that's actually good and that people are going to care about in the long term? Especially for these service games where you want to have a long life cycle or a long period of people investing in your game. If it's crap on launch, the number of people who are going to be interested in your game is very small, especially competing against something like Division, which came out like a month after.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, well, I guess like you got to think too, all of this time that they've really wasted on working on something that they didn't really use in the end and changed several times over and whatever else. Like, think about all that wasted money. And obviously, you know, it's all well and good to be like, yeah, we want to release the game when we're going to do it, instead of push it out a little bit more, because obviously it's just wasting more time and more money. But you're better off to make a game that's everyone's going to be happy with, not trading in a week or two after they've purchased it. And I just think it's such a huge disappointment. Like, by reading the article, you can tell that the people that are obviously discussing what the process has been and what's been said and in those situations, they just seem really like disappointed by the situation. I can't imagine what it would have been like to be working on something like this and then for it to be such a complete mess. And then you're also looking at all of your customers and obviously, you know, potential fans just be so disappointed and trash all over it, really. And I think that whole thing is just super disappointing, because there was a lot of people that were really hyped for this. Like, we discussed it on the show before that, you know, it'd be really interesting to see where it goes. Like, no one did really know what it was going to be, and we really thought that it was going to put quite a few people on board, and it had the potential to be awesome. So it's just so disappointing that it's just all gone to shit.
Well, I haven't gone back to it, but like and the article points out the stuff Schreier points out, Jason Schreier points out in the article is the exact stuff I'd agree with, where playing the game, it's like, it looks good. The combat is fun, like it's got cool abilities and whatever else, but like the actual playing it moment to moment, the missions are just boring, and the story is that just reminds me, we're talking about the story, there's part in the article where they point out that they had fuck all money or whatever, like such a limited budget. Money and time for recording the motion capture and stuff for a bunch of the actors, that they record all the lines at some stage while they're still developing the game, of course. And this is normal, but often when they do these sorts of things, if they change something in the mission design, they'll go back and record the line again, or like change it and get the actor back in, or do what they need to do. Because often they record stuff while they're still developing, because then of course they can start testing it and put it in and these sorts of things. You know, it's not like the last thing you
story
do.
Changes, things happen.
Yeah, it's fine. But what they did was they recorded all these lines for the story with the limited budget and time they had, and then later on the mission designers changed some of the design with the missions and what happens to certain characters. And apparently there's points in the game where someone's like recorded line where they're like, oh, my suit got messed up or damaged or something, but they changed it so the character's suit never got messed up. So the character's just standing there perfectly fine with their suit being okay, and to be like, oh, my suit got messed up. And it's because they only recorded the lines once and they didn't go back and re-record them. That's how rushed this fucking game was out the door. It is nuts, really. It is fucking absolutely nuts. The other thing that I find nuts, and the other point to this story is, so apparently Jason sent an email over to BioWare. It was like, hey, the night before he published the article, it was like, hey, he sent him over dot points of what the article's going to cover. Didn't send him the whole article, but it was just like, here's what it's covering. Do you want, of course, like they do for all these sorts of things, do you want to offer a comment or like talk to me about it, sort of thing? And of course, BioWare declined to comment on the story. But they did in response to getting that email from Jason, it seems, quickly prepare up some sort of press release and then pretty much sat by the computer waiting for the Kotaku article to get published and then quickly pressed enter because the Kotaku article got published and then 10 minutes later, BioWare published a press release, I guess, following up on what they had in response to say, which means they didn't read it.
No, there's no way you could read that article in 10 minutes.
No. and then write up that piece, get it cleared by all the high ups at BioWare, bring it over to social media, put it up on the website, in 10 minutes? No, it's like literally impossible. So, but they put out this thing, and this is like the quote grab from it. As a studio and a team, we accept all criticisms that will come our way for the games we make, especially from our players. The creative process is often difficult. The struggles and challenges of making video games are very real, but the reward of putting something we created into the hands of players is amazing. People in the industry put so much passion and energy into making something fun. We don't see the value in tearing down one another or one another's work. We don't believe articles that do that are making our industry and craft better. So pretty much the focus I have is on, and most people have had, is on those last two sentences. Because I think they're completely fucked up. And they set a certain precedence and send a certain message out to, I suppose, their fan base, and kind of tries, to me, it comes across like they're trying to turn their fans or on game journalist, really, is how it comes across to me. Because I read this as your piece, even though we didn't read it, Jason, but we consider this piece that you've written about us a hit piece. It shouldn't exist. You shouldn't write things like this. Don't do it because it's hurting us, and we should all just happily get along and not write things like this because games are fun. Whoop-de-doo-da-day, blah, 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 blah. And then we don't believe articles that do that are making our industry and craft better. Well, they are, because he's bringing to light problems.
We were just talking about the friggin' Rockstar overtime stuff 5-6 months ago.
Yeah, I mean,
that helped change the industry. Arguably, everybody's talking about trying to get
more people are talking about it. So the more people,
I think that people would prefer to understand why the game's so shit, instead of just being like, okay, they thought it was acceptable to release a game that's crashing every 5 minutes. Okay, well, at least, even though it doesn't look good for them or their management and whatever else, but it has some sort of explanation for the people.
You feel bad
that have
for
been
BioWare
playing it.
After reading that. You go, oh.
Well, the people
working at BioWare.
The people working there, I don't really feel bad for the higher ups who are making the
company.
Shitty decisions.
Well, I do now, because all the ones who are making no decisions are gone now. They're all left.
Well, we all know EA sucked, and we've known that for quite some time. So
yeah,
EA's just slowly burning studios to the ground, it seems. I don't like the tone and precedent that sets for it, and I also think this is a continuing trend within games industry at the moment, especially from the development side, where they're trying to make out the video game industry is different to the fucking sports industry, the movie, TV industry, and all these other things where people can write stories like this. If someone found out about some shady managers doings behind the scenes in NFL or something over there, and ESPN wrote a story about it or something. I know Sport Ash, don't you laugh?
Yep.
They wrote if they wrote a story about it covering this person was doing this, blah blah blah. You know what I mean? No one would blink an eye and say, "Oh, this story should be written," because that's fucking journalism, right? And then it'd be the exact same thing for movies or TV. People bring out these stories about movies and TV, and you don't hear Warner Brothers coming out and being like, if something got written about them, I guarantee Warner Brothers wouldn't put something out that was like, we believe everyone should just watch our movies and shut the fuck up, basically. I don't know why it's a current thing, developers, where they're trying to and they really are, because let's go to the top of this sentence to kind of prove my point, where I 100% believe they're trying to rally cry subconsciously the fan base to turn against journalists in the industry. As a studio and a team, we accept all criticisms that will come our way for the games we make, especially from our players. they make sure to tag that on. It's like the most important voice in our industry is those of those playing our games, not you tacky journalists and stuff. And we do live in an industry post Gamergate and all these sorts of things where people still believe that shit and whatever else. And there's still a minority of people that you can come across on the internet that exist in horrible places such as 9chan and whatever else that are still on about, like journalists, fucking game journalists, bullshit, blah, 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 all these sorts of things. And when game studios do this sort of shit, it's adding to those problems, I believe. So, look, between reading the article was one thing for me personally. I was like, this is kind of fucked up. BioWare's got some problems going on. We all knew EA had some problems going on. But the thing that made me turn against BioWare so much and kind of have really shitty opinions right now is not the Schreier article. It's what they wrote themselves. This piece, I think, is the worst thing they could have done, I think. Because most people, this is just a really shitty thing to put out in response to this, I feel. Like really, really shitty reaction to it all. Especially to have it prepared and not even bother reading the thing. Just have this thing prepared. That's absolutely nuts. That's 100% not on.
Yeah. Their PR team screwed the pooch this time.
Fucking this year's going off with PR team screwing the pooch. I tell you what. Anyone got any last thoughts on this? I guess then.
It was also interesting. I think the cultural problems as well, like the elitism of the team from Alberta over the team from Austin, and pretty much feeling they were better because they're the team behind
the originals.
The originals, and then not wanting to take any advice from the team from Austin who had previously done an online game in Star Wars: The Old Republic. Seems crazy. And then obviously the problems with people needing to medically get leave from stress that would cause them to take weeks to even months off the project is insane. And in the high numbers they're talking about, like several people.
Yeah, I think that I can't imagine what it would have been like to be the people working on this, especially like the OG people, and then to have, everything basically being redone and worked over you when you've probably just been overworked to begin with, and it was just all for nothing.
Yep.
Video game industry, come on. Let me go longer than a week without having to go on a rant about some fucking company that's pissed me off. Come on.
Well, I don't think it's ever going to happen because you like ranting about companies.
I don't like ranting. The stories come to me, Ash. The stories come to me. Right?
I think you get some sort of sick joy out of it, yeah.
Oh my God. Jesus Christ.
And I, this only came out today. So I'm really interested to see what the continuous reactions from this article and their reactions going to be as well. Because obviously this is going to be something that's going to be all over socials.
I would expect some individuals, especially people mentioned in the article, come out and say some stuff. So
coming out. Yep. Yeah, I think so too.
Well, my end on it is holy shit. Dragon Age 4 better be good, or else I think BioWare's fucked.
Honestly, where does BioWare go from here? Is Dragon Age 4 the only thing?
They have to release that game, and it has to be good, or else I think BioWare's kind of done.
When?
Yeah, I mean, we know they cancel it. 2021, I guess, would be good.
It's crazy.
Just depends where their resources and everything are at after this.
They're all on fixing Anthem still.
Yeah, because they're one studio down as well because they closed the Edmonton team that was doing Andromeda, so they're a little bit smaller. And then the Austin team's going to be working on trying to keep Anthem alive, I guess. Performing CPR and medical surgery. Some
serious medical patches on that.
Yeah. Oh well, find out soon enough. It's sad because obviously they've got their studio with legacy and stuff, but it does just seem like among EA just basically forcing them to use a certain engine and a bunch of other decisions, the studio's just been stuck in the mud and kind of fucked really, really hard. Yeah. They can't get out of it, it seems. And
Yeah.
it's like Dragon Age 4, whatever that is, that's still them dealing with Frostbite. Even if they are using the Anthem leftover stuff, they're still dealing with an engine that they don't like, I guess. There's no way out of it because it's a required EA thing. And that was also the problem with, apparently that was a problem with Visceral as well. You know, like Visceral was...
Yeah, they were struggling with the Frostbite engine.
As well.
And obviously Andromeda had a heap of problems. Like, there's only like the best EA game, arguably, of the last 6 months, Apex Legends, not made on the Frostbite engine.
Oh, boom. There you go. What's that say?
Yeah.
I mean, they could have used it anyway because it's first-person shooter, so...
Well, that's true, yeah. And it was only because they weren't bought by EA at the time, so...
Yeah.
They're working on it.
Well, Respawn, get the fuck out.
Yeah. Okay.
It's a sinking ship.
Yeah, if you Respawn, you need to...
Escape.
Performing miracles, I guess.
Yeah.
One last interesting tidbit. I find it interesting that they clearly name all their projects after musicians. So obviously, it was originally codenamed Dylan. The Dragon Age 4 was originally called Joplin, and then when they rebooted it, it's now called Morrison. So,
yeah. What exactly Morrison means in reference to the game, I don't know. But
does it have deeper meaning?
Yeah, I don't know. They explained at least what the Dylan meaning was, but
yeah,
I don't know. All right, that'll do it for this week. Thank you for joining us on the couch. Make sure you head on over to explosionetwork.com for all our other shows, of course, reviews, news, articles, much more. Rate Arcade Couch on Apple Podcasts to help out the show, or simply share it on social media, or retweet our tweet about it, whatever works for you, so your friends can see it. Head on over to Explosion Network on Twitter at ExplosionPod and follow along there. And you can follow us, our Discord, and chat along there at explosionnetwork.com/Discord. You can follow me on Twitter at Vivaladil, VIVALADIL. You can follow Ashley on Twitter at ASHLEYHABLEY. You can follow Cherie on Twitter at CHERIACORNO. See you here next week. Same time. Same cat. No, wait. It's kind of the same time, but it's a different time.
Yeah, it'll be slightly later, I guess.
Yeah. It'll still be 6 a.m., but...
It'll be the correct time. That's what it'll be.
Yeah, fuck off, all right? Bye, everyone. Fuck off.
Catch up on the latest TV, online media, and movie news from the biggest comic book films and YouTube crazes to our local cinema scene. And then hear what we've been watching before asking the age-old question, what do you want to watch? Available on all podcast services every second Friday. Just search your podcast app for What Do You Want to Watch and subscribe for free now. And keep watching stuff, I guess.